Hey everybody, Ash here with Gents. Today I'm coming at you with a tag video. I'm sure that most of you have already seen this video idea if you're subscribed to a lot of other fragrance channels because it's been making the rounds. As you can tell by the title, this is my 4 fragrances for life, and I'm doing this the way that it was originally imagined. I'm not sure who actually came up with this idea first, but it's basically 1 fragrance per season. So 1 for spring, 1 for fall, 1 for summer, 1 for winter. I'm gonna go over my choices with you and the reasons that I picked them. And also, before I jump into this, I'm gonna go ahead and tag every single fragrance channel out there. So if you have not been officially tagged yet, now you have. Every single person, every single channel is now tagged. I know that I was tagged a few times. I know Dallas at Chaos Fragrances tagged me, and when I remember the other people that tagged me, I'll put them in the description too. So thanks everybody for tagging me, and let's go ahead and jump into this. All right, we're gonna start off with spring, since that's the season that we're going into now, at least where I live in the US. If you've watched my channel for a while, this is probably not a big surprise. Honestly, it's not a big surprise at all. I believe a lot of people probably picked this one. It's Creed Green Irish Tweed. This one has notes of lemon verbena, iris, ambergris, violet leaf, and sandalwood. And this came out in 1985, which is the year I was born. Now this one gets compared to Davidoff Cool Water, Cody Aspen, and it has a ton of other clones out there, or versions of this fragrance. But for me, the OG is the only way to go. This is one of my absolute favorite fragrances. I actually have 4 bottles of it, believe it or not. I've got 3 4-ounce bottles, and then I've got a 75 ml bottle too. It's overkill, I know. The whole way that I viewed this 4 fragrances for life thing is I didn't think about the fragrances in terms of how versatile they are. I didn't think about them in terms of compliment factor or anything like that. That didn't get factored in whatsoever. Literally the only thing that I factored in is, do these fragrances make me happy? Going with just some Marie Kondo type stuff. Does it spark joy? That's the only thing that I care about in this situation here. So with that being said, Green Irish Tweed is a really versatile fragrance. And I have actually gotten numerous compliments over the years wearing this. It doesn't really matter because I would still wear this even if it had crap versatility or got me 0 compliments. I honestly don't care about that very much. Just a very clean, fresh green fragrance. It's got an uplifting feeling to me. I love the way that it smells. I love the pop right in the opening that it gives you. Some people say that they dislike the opening, that you have to wait to the dry down to get to the really good part of Green Irish Tweed, but I love the opening. It's a fantastic fragrance. I love it. Green Irish Tweed for spring. Next up, summer. So we're gonna go from spring into summer and then fall, finish it up with winter. It's another niche fragrance. This is the older bottle style. It is this one. Neo by Xerjoff. Like I said, this has a new bottle style. So this is how the old one looks. The new one looks like this right here. See it? It's got bergamot, neroli, green notes, and vetiver as some of the main notes here. And this one came out in 2009. Now this is another fragrance like Green Irish Tweed that is versatile, that is compliment getting. It's one of the absolute best citrus smelling fragrances that you can buy. In my opinion, it's one of the best. And summer for me was actually the hardest one to pick. For me, fresh fragrances usually don't stick in my mind as much as like richer, denser fragrances do. They're a little bit more forgettable in general. A lot of them focus solely on the citrus and, you know, like a clean musk and stuff like that. And after a while, all those freshies, all those aquatics, they start to kind of run together. At least if you've smelled enough of them, it starts to be a little difficult to have a summer fragrance really grab your attention. It's gotta be really, really nice to do that. So when it came to summer fragrances, most of the ones that I was looking at for my keep one list, or whatever you wanna call it, were niche. I thought about stuff like Bergamot 22 by Le Labo, but I like this one more because they both really come at you with the prominent citrus notes. I just feel like it's a little bit better in Neo. If you love citrus fragrances, you know, very natural smelling, juicy, brisk, fresh citrus, then you should try to at least sample this one if you can. I know that this is an expensive fragrance, but in my opinion, totally worth it. So with summer, I went with that one, Xerjoff Neo. I mean, if you're gonna go fresh, if you're gonna go citrus, might as well go with one of the best ones out there. It's gonna take me into fall. And for fall, I picked a discontinued fragrance, one of my absolute favorite fragrances of all time. It is this one, Gucci Envy. I've got a couple bottles of this one, so I should never run out, realistically. I've got this one and another one up there that I don't think you can see. This one came out in 1998 when Tom Ford was the creative director of Gucci. And during his time there, actually, they came out with 3 of the best, if not the absolute best, fragrances that Gucci has ever done, which is Gucci Envy, Gucci Rush, and Gucci Pour Homme. All 3 of those are discontinued. All 3 of those are very expensive nowadays. Ginger, incense, sandalwood, and tobacco are some of the notes here. This is just fantastic. I love it. It's gentlemanly, it's mature without being dated, so you're not gonna come across smelling like a grandpa, you're just gonna come across like a boss.
Like a boss!
Used to be, you could pick up Carven Homme, and that was kind of close to this one, so you could pick up Carven Homme really cheap. For a time, it was going for like $15, $20, Carven Homme, and you could test that out and say, okay, I really like Carven Homme, so I should definitely check out Envy. Or if Carven Homme did not work for you, then you could say, well, Envy probably won't work out for me either. For a while there, that's what I would tell people to do. I would say, if you're interested in Envy, don't go pick it up for $200 having never smelled it. You know, go buy Carven Homme for 15 bucks. Check that out. If you really like it and you want something that's a step above that fragrance, you know, better quality, better blend, better smell, then go ahead and check out Gucci Envy. But if you don't like Carven Homme, if you think that it's, you know, like a 3 out of 10 or something, then just don't even mess with Gucci Envy, just write it off. Carven Homme is discontinued now too. I checked eBay before this video and it looked like 50 ml bottles of Carven Homme were going for $60, $70. Of course, there were people decanting it, so I mean, you could go that route if you wanted to, but the days of picking up Carven Homme for $15 to $20, apparently those are long gone. It's unfortunate. If you loved Gucci Envy back in the day and you want Gucci Envy now, you're gonna have to pony up some serious cash for it. I have my 2 bottles, so I'm pretty well set. I'm not gonna decant anything from these bottles. I'm just gonna keep them. I'm gonna wear them each fall, and hopefully they last me for the rest of my life. I absolutely love everything about this fragrance. I love the bottle, love the color of the fragrance, love the way it smells. It is a travesty that Gucci discontinued those 3 fragrances I mentioned before, Rush, Pour Homme, and especially Envy. But again, just to reiterate here, I am not telling you to run out and buy Gucci Envy for $200, $250. That is a serious investment, and there's a possibility that you're not gonna like it, and then you're gonna be angry at me for me liking it. So if you're interested, I mean, see if you can get a sample, see if you can get a decant or something maybe, and if it works for you, save up and get a bottle. This is not your typical release that would come out nowadays for a designer. Like, you would not have this released by Gucci nowadays. I would be absolutely mind blown if Gucci released something that smelled like this now. This is not your typical blue fragrance. This is not your typical super mass appealing, you know, Y eau de parfum kind of release. Not that there's anything wrong with Y. This is kind of a little bit of a throwback. It's a more masculine fragrance centering around that incense, sandalwood with a nice ginger that doesn't really have the effervescent pop like you get in fragrances nowadays. The tobacco here is not a super sweetened up tobacco leaf that you might find in something like Pure Havana. It's just a masculine, sophisticated, gentleman type fragrance while being versatile and pleasing at the same time. Gucci Envy, awesome fragrance. Gonna take me into winter, my final fragrance on this list. This is one that I have talked about in the past. This goes back to what I said earlier about just picking fragrances that I like, that make me happy. I don't really give an F if I get compliments with this. I don't really care if it's not the most versatile thing ever. It's just something that I love, and if I had to do without it, I'd be bummed, and so it makes my list. It's Imaginary Authors Cape Heartache. And this is another one that I have multiple bottles of, 2 to be exact. This is the very old school bottle style here. This is before Imaginary Authors had boxes. It's back when they were in 60 ml size instead of 50 ml, so the bottles were a little bit bigger. And it has that different atomizer type right here that you don't find on the new bottles, and also has this older label style where it's just a sticker, which is what they have on the new ones as well, but this is just like a glossy sticker. The look now has changed. Just as comparison, this is my bottle of St. Julep. So you can see the paper has a textured feel, or the sticker I should say. And then the atomizer is different as well. And you can see the difference in bottle size there. So like I said, I've got a couple bottles of this, probably between the two of them, close to 95 mils left. This one is my older bottle. The other one that I have of this is a newer style, so I like to save this one a little bit. This one was released in 2013, and it has the notes on the back, like all Imaginary Authors fragrances do. It has Douglas fir, pine resin, western hemlock, vanilla leaf, strawberry, old growth, and mountain fog. Of the 4 fragrances that I picked, this is probably the one, or I would say most definitely the one, that most people would say is the least wearable or the least versatile. Personally, I think it's 100% wearable. Like, there's nothing in this that to me is challenging. It very much smells like you've gone into a forest. You can pick up the resins, you can pick up the evergreens around you. It's got a little bit of sweetness from strawberry, just a very woody evergreen type of scent with nice nuances sprinkled all throughout. It's a fantastic fragrance. I absolutely adore this one. When I started getting into Imaginary Authors, this is the first one that I bought a full bottle of. I had sampled a number of them, and this one just fell in love with it, had to buy it. It was coming down to a couple of Imaginary Authors here for winter. There was Cape Heartache and also Memoirs of a Trespasser. So while this one came in, I guess, second for winter, I still want to just talk about it super briefly. You can check it out there, Memoirs of a Trespasser. This one has Madagascar vanilla, Gaiac wood, myrrh, bergamot, benzoin, ambrette seeds, and oak barrels. Basically, if you like vanilla, smoky vanilla with resins and woods, you should check this out. This one is awesome. Like, if this is 1A, then this one is 1B, at least for me in wintertime. Sick fragrances, Imaginary Authors, Cape Heartache, my winter choice. So there we go. There's my 4 fragrances for life, 1 per season. Green Irish Tweed for spring, Neo for summer, Envy for fall, Cape Heartache for winter. So there we go. That's gonna do it for me. Again, if you have a fragrance channel and you have not been tagged yet, you are now tagged. There we go, guys. Let me know in the comments some of your choices for spring, summer, fall, winter, if you could only keep one. Maybe let me know what they would be, not if you were thinking about other people, just completely for yourself. Forget about versatility, forget about compliments, forget about all that. Just, what do you like to smell? What makes you happy? Let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time with another fragrance video.